وبوجهك الباقي بعد فناء كل شيء وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء وبنور وجهك الذي أضاء له كل شيء يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا قدوس يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تهتك العصام اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل النعم اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعم اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء اللهم اغفر لي كل ذنب أذنبته وكل خطيئة أخطأتها اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بذكرك واستشفع بك إلى نفسك وأسألك بجودك أن تغنيني من غربك وأن تودعني شكرك وأن تلهمني ذكرك اللهم إني أسألك سؤال خاطئ متزلزل خاشع أن تسامحني وترحمني وتجعلني باسمك راضيا غانئا وفي جميع الأحوال متباكا اللهم وأسألك سؤال من اشتدت فاقته وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته وعظم فيما عندك رغبته اللهم عظم سلطانك وعلى مكانك وخفي مكرك وزهر أمرك وغلب قهرك وجرت قدرتك ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا ولا لغبائه ساترا ولا لشيء من عملي القبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيرك لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك ظلمت نفسي ظلمت نفسي وتجرأت بجهلي وسكنت إلى غريم ذكرك لي ومنك علي اللهم مولاي كم من قبيح سترته وكم من فاضح من البلاء أغلته وكم من عسار رأيته وكم من مكروه دفعته وكم من سناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرته اللهم عظم بلائي وأفرت بي سوء حالي وغسرت بي أعمالي وغت بي أغلالي وحبسني عن نفعي بعد عملي وخدتني الدنيا بغرورها ونفسي بجنايتها ومثالي يا سيدي فأسألك بعزتك أن لا يحجب عنك الداعي سوء عملي وفعالي ولا تفضحني بخفي ما اطلعت عليه من سري ولا تعاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلباتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكثرة الشهوات وغفلتي. وكن اللهم بعزتك لي في كل أحوال رؤوفا وعلي في جميع الأمور عطوفا.
إلهي وربي من لي غيرك أسأله كشف ضري والنظر في أمري. إلهي ومولاي أجريت علي حكما اتبعت فيه هوى نفسي ولم أحترس فيه من تزيين عدوي فغرني بما أهوى وأسعده على ذلك القضاء فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعض حدودك وخالفت بعض أوامرك فلك الحجة علي في جميع ذلك ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاؤك وألزمني حكمك وبلاؤك. وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مذعنا معترفا لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة رحمتك. اللهم فاقبل عذري وارحم شدة ضري وفكني من شدي وثاقي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي يا من بدأ خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي هبني لابتدائي كرمك وسالفي برك بي. يا إلهي وسيدي وربي أتراك معذبي بنارك بعد توحيدك وبعد ما انطوى عليه قلبي من معرفتك ولهج به لساني من ذكرك واعتقده ضميري من حبك وبعد صدق احترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك. هيهات أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيته أو تبعد من أدنيته أو تشرد من آويته أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمته. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أتسلط النار على أوجه خرت لعظمتك ساجدة وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقة وبشكرك مادحة وعلى قلوب احترفت بإلهيتك محققة وعلى ضمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة وأشارت باستغفارك مذحنة. ما كذا الظن بك ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم. يا ربي وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه قليل مكثوه يسير بقاؤه قصير مدته فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض. يا سيدي فكيف بي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين. يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو ولما منها أضج أبكي، لأليم العذاب وشدته أم لطول البلاء ومدته؟ فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي. صبرت على عذابك فكيف أصبر على فراقك؟ وهب لي صبرت على حر نارك فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك؟ أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك؟ فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا، لئن تركتني ناطقا لأضجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآمنين، ولأصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولأبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولأنادينك إن كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية آمال العارفين، يا غياث الوليين،
يا غياث المستغيثين، يا غياث المستغيثين،
يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين، أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته وضاق طعم عذابها بمعصيته وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريته، وهو يضج إليك ضجيج مؤمل رحمتك ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك؟ أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك؟ أم كيف يحرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه؟ أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفه؟ أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقه؟ أم كيف تزجره زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا رباه؟ أم كيف يرجو فضلك في عتقه منها فتتركه فيها؟ هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك ولا مشبه لما عاملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك، فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحديك وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما، لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين، وأنت جل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما، أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي، فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حكمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته وكل ذنب أذنبته وكل قبيح أسررته وكل جهل عملته كتمته أو أعلنته أخفيته أو أظهرته وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم وبرحمتك أخفيته وبفضلك سترته وأن توفر حظي من كل خير تنزله أو إحسان تفضله أو بر تنشره أو رزق تبسطه أو ذنب تغفره أو خطأ تستره يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب
يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي يا من بيده ناصيتي يا عليما بضري ومسكنتي يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورا وبخدمتك موصولا وأعمالي عندك مقبولا حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب قو على خدمتك جوارحي واشدد على العزيمة جوانحي وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين وأسرع إليك في البارزين وأشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين وأخافك مخافة الموقنين وأجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فارد ومن كادني فكد واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك وأقربهم منزلة منك وأخصهم زلفة لديك فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك وجد لي بجودك واعطف علي بمجدك واحفظني برحمتك واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا وقلبي بحبك مكيما ومن علي بحسن إجابتك وأقلني عثرتي واغفر زلتي فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك وأمرتهم بدعائك وظننت لهم الإجابة، فإليك يا ربي نصبت وجهي وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي، فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي وبلغني مناي، ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي، واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي. يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا، اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء، فإنك فعال لما تشاء. يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى، ارحم من رأس مالي الرجاء وسلاحه البكاء. يا سابغ النعم يا دافع النقم، يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام، يا عالما لا يعلم. صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بما أنت أهله، وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
As a result, the social issue has become critical, of course. And we all want to be what? Be loved by others, saved from their enmities, satisfied with their company's support and assistance, winning their loyalty, and so on and so forth. So what the Imam is saying in this session, he says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa abdilni min bighdati ahli al-shana'an al-mahabba, and replace for me the animosity of the people of hatred with love, which means that instead of people are going to hate me, please God, make them love me. And in Lisan al-Arab, in that Arabic dictionary, al-bughd wal-bighdha, naqib al-hubb is the opposite of love. And of course, either someone loves someone or he hates him. So when we talk about the opposite, الشناعة مثل الشناعة is al-bughd, which is also hatred. So why Imam is saying this? We can say all the time, people around us are three kinds. And please pay attention to what I am saying. So you may agree or disagree, or you may have different opinion. أنا دائما أقول الناس من حولنا ثلاث أنواع. إما ناس يحبوك أو يكرهوك أو لا يحبوك ولا يكرهوك. So people are three kinds. Either they love you or hate you, or they are neutral. Right? Any other kind of people around us?
So two-faced people.
Two? Either they love you or hate you?
Some give you the sense that they love you, but inside they may hate you.
Oh, this is worse. Okay. So why the Imam is saying this? If people are different kind, so why? Why do you think Imam is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replace the animosity of people around me with love? وَأَبْدِلْنِي مِنْ بِغْضَةِ أَهْلِ الشَّنَآنِ الْمَحَبَّةِ. In fact, no one wants anyone to hate him. And it is by our nature And logically, we want more friends. And we want to reduce our enemies and increase our supporters and friends. And anyone who is, who has some logic, or he is a reasonable person, he must not create more enemies. Imam Ali alayhi salam is saying, Imam Ali alayhi salam was saying, من استصلح الأضداد بلغ المراد. يعني اللي يغير خصومه إلى أصدقاء فهذا هو الهدف، يعني حقق الهدف. العاقل اللي يكثر أصدقائه ويقلل أعدائه. Imam Ali alayhi salam said, he who reconciles with the opposition achieves his aim, which means that this is what any intellectual person will do, any reasonable person will do. Let's go to the other part. وَمِنْ حَسَدِ أَهْلِ الْبَغْيِ الْمَوَدَّةِ. So the envy of the people of insolence, okay? Those who are wrongdoers with affection. If we say hasad, envy is something natural. So why the Imam is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replace that with love, with affection. Al-hasad, what does it mean? Envy. When you wish any grace, any favor, or any kind of blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on someone, you envy him, you wish if Allah is going to take it away from him, or you take it from him. Like if he is rich, you wish that he is going to be poor and you are going to be rich. So this is a kind of envy. Al-wud in Arabic means love. Now, Imam Ali alayhi salam is saying, Al-hasadu sharrul amram. Be aware of envy anyone. Because as Imam Ali alayhi salam is saying, jealousy is the worst disease. And also he says, the chief of vices is jealousy. It is going to ruin your soul and your spirit. And always you are not going to feel comfortable. So as if it is a poison. You cause this kind of poison inside your soul and is going to kill you at the end. The other part, وَمِنْ ضِمْنَةِ أَهْلِ الصَّلَاحِ الثِّقَةِ. الظِّنَّ يعني التهمة, which means the suspicion of the people of righteousness with trust. If we have in our community some people of righteousness, they are pious, they are good people, so we don't want them to suspect us of doing something wrong, or they think that we are bad people. So why is that? So again, we are living with other people. We are living in the society. Again, and instead of making people around us against us, we want them to be with us. So that's why Imam is always saying this. Imam Ali alayhi salam saying, إِيَّاكَ وَمَوَاطِنَ التُّهْمَةِ وَالْمَجْلِسَ الْمَظْنُونَ بِهِ السُّوءِ فَإِنَّ قَرِينَ السُّوءِ يَغُرُّ جَلِيسَهُ. Stay away from places of suspicion and suspect gatherings. So avoid them. Be far away from them. Even if you have two ways. One, when you are going to pass it through this way, and then people are going to accuse you, like let's say this road or this street is full with nightclubs, whatever clubs you can imagine. The other one is not. Even this one is shorter. Don't go this way. Go the other way. There is a real story about one of my friends. He was living in Basra, and the weather of Basra is like the weather of Florida. It's too hot. When the first time I came to Florida, to Tampa, I asked one of the brothers, I said, brother, how is the weather here? He said, we have two seasons, hot and too hot. So in Basra it's the same thing. It's hot and too hot, and extremely hot now. So all days during Saddam regime, even during the month of Ramadan, the theaters, cinema theaters will be open. Of course, Saddam changed that way. He just wanted to show off that he is a religious person. But it was extremely hot. It was in summer, and one of the religious people, he was fasting. And then when he was just walking on the street near that cinema theater, he fainted. So people just wanted to save this person, so they took him inside that theater, and it is like,
Cool. It was
it is cooler, of course, and then they spread some water on him, and then he got his consciousness back. Then one friend of him, he was walking, and he saw him inside the theater. That night, he went to the mosque, and he told the Sheikh, I saw A in the cinema theater. It's Ramadan, and he's supposed to be fasting, and this person is coming to our masjid. So it seems like he is what? As Sayyid Mahmoud said, he is a kind of munafiq. So, unfortunately, this rumor spread out. Okay? And then that person approached the Sheikh. Sheikh asked him, did you really go to that theater that day? He said, no, I fainted and people took me in and I didn't know what movie it was. I didn't watch the movie. He said, okay. He summoned that person who came and told him that I saw Fulan in the theater. He said, you go and tell everyone what I said about this person is wrong. And tell him if he said something to other people, they need to what? Go and tell them what we said was wrong. To clarify the reputation of that mu'min, or that person. You see, you need to be very careful. Because if we are going to lose the trust of righteous people, we are going to ruin our lives. وَمِنْ عَدَاوَةِ الْأَدْنَيْنِ الْوَلَايَةِ, which means that the enmity of the close ones, like our relatives, or close ones, like closer friends, friendship. Which means that sometimes when we associate with others, with even your brother, your sister, with many problems, is going to, get you in tension, and then say something wrong, act wrongly, and then you are going to make your relative, your brother, your closest friend as an enemy or an enemy. So Imam is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمِنْ عَدَاوَةِ الْأَدْنَيْنِ الْوَلَايَةِ. And at the same time, Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, he is always telling us with that, be careful. Be careful. Do not make your relatives your enemies. And do not be the enemy of others, of course. So always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase your friends and reduce your enemies. Imam Ali alayhi salam says, رَأْسُ الْجَهْلِ مُعَادَاتُ النَّاسِ. Imam alayhi salam saying, the peak of ignorance is showing enmity towards people. So we are not supposed to do that. And others, they are not supposed to do that to us.
Of course, he means the mu'mineen or everybody.
No, relatives. they are religious or non-religious. Okay.
But رأس الجاني معاداة الناس. What people? Every people? Like if somebody.
Yes, everyone. If you have a neighbor, non-Muslim neighbor, why do you make them your enemies? Try to be friendly with them.
Even he was like showing
You know, this is the Prophet's manners.
Some neighbors are impossible.
Yes.
I agree with you. Some neighbors, it is impossible to make them friends, but do not
show
put oil on the fire. ومن حقوق ذوي الأرحام المبرة, and the disrespect of womb relatives with devotion. Al-mabarra is from bir, means to be honest, to be obedient. Now, the worst thing that we may have when we are going to have our relatives, cousins, and others, they are going to really disrespect us, or we have a lot of problems with them, or we are going to break up with them. This is really very bad situation. So as if the Imam is telling us, be aware of that. Try to always reconcile with them. Have a good relationship with them. And وَمِنْ خِذْلَانِ الْأَقْرَبِينَ النُّصْرَةِ, the abandonment of relatives or the close ones with help. Instead of being their enemy, your enemy, so they are going to be your supporters. ومن حب المدارين تصحيح المقه. المدارات في حسن الخلق والمعاشرة. يعني المداري هو اللي دائما يعاشرك بشكل جيد. Okay. يعني he is always good with you. So the attachment of flatterers with reformed regard, which means I like this person. What should I do when I like him? If I see that he is making any mistakes, should I correct him or not? I don't want to upset him because I really like him. I don't want him to be upset with me, okay? Because he's my close friend. He's my son. Like many parents, they will spoil their kids, okay? They are not going to tell them this is wrong. So, وَمِنْ حُبِّ الْمُدَارِينَ تَصْحِيحَ الْمِقَةِ. So instead of being like this, I need to do what? Or if they have seen anything wrong from me, so they need to correct me, reform me, and I supposed to do the same thing to them. So Imam alayhi salam, he is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who love me, they're supposed to correct me. And you need to be appreciative to anyone who is telling you about your mistakes. Don't treat him like he is your enemy. Okay, when he is telling you about your mistakes, he wanted to correct you, to guide you. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam was saying, رَحِمَ اللَّهُ مَنْ أَهْدَى إِلَيَّ عُيُوبُ. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give mercy to those who are telling me about my what? Shortcomings. What's wrong I'm doing. And also he's telling us to accept their advice. وَمِنْ رَدِّ الْمُلَابِسِينَ كَرَمِ الْعِشْرَةِ, the rejection of associates with good behavior. وَمِنْ مَرَارَةِ خَوْفِ الظَّالِمِينَ حَلَاوَةَ الْأَمَنَةِ, and the bitterness of the fear of oppressors with the sweetness of security. So as if this set of dua, this part of dua, is going to talk about different situations and different circumstances and to make you safe wherever you go. Okay, we are done. Any questions, any comments, please? Seems that you understood everything.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Didn't understand anything.
My question
No, we did understand, but it's hard to apply.
what if you do have a relative where you want to patch things up, but they always misunderstand, or they always, I guess they don't, they take the negative of what we say. So at what point, can you just isolate at him and just, leave it at that? Or do you still have to, go beyond that and just, constantly be the one that tries to kind of patch things up? Religiously speaking.
Yes. So there is a narration by Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, which is telling us that we need always to, talk to them, try to outreach them, like Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, "Man wasaltahu faqata'ak." So you approach him, but he or she doesn't want to talk to you, like boycott you, or block you on WhatsApp or whatever, and try to approach them again, like in a different way, and also they rejected you, and you did that the third time, so you have an excuse before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And another, I still remember one of the ulama saying that some people talk about, what about my dignity, karama, and ego, or whatever. So there is no dignity, there is no ego between relatives, especially between the father, son, or brothers and sisters. So always try to approach them, always try to contact them, always try to clarify any misunderstanding between you and them. This is going to happen a lot. If someone decided to, let's say, block you, doesn't want to talk to you, and you try to reach them out many times, but they decided to ignore all of that, you did what you're supposed to do before Allah.
And do not backbite.
Yes. Yeah, that's
In a particular circumstance, because I see this in some of the cultures in society. If we is trying to be good relatives or good friends or good mu'mins, we have a particular person in our lives who is doing wrong, and then now we're trying to fix that. It's causing us to be distant. In order for us to fix that relationship and their perspective and mentality, you accept my wrongdoings and accept me as a human being, and you'll be in my life. Or if you want to shed light on my mishaps or my shortcomings, then I don't need you to be in my life. So can you be possibly taqiyya and say, okay, the time that I'm with this person, although I know he's living a life of haram, I'm going to accept his choices, and just so that we can have a relationship?
You can correct others in different ways. You can reform others in different ways. Okay, maybe I need to wait. Maybe I can send him one time a narration of the Imam, not telling him, you are wrong, but I'm telling him, this happens, so act like this. So the point is always, do not reply to others the way they did. If they treated you badly, don't do the same. And always follow what, yes?
Don't escalate.
Yeah, this is another thing. Do not escalate the situation. Do not make it not worsen the situation. Okay?
Backbite.
Backbiting, yes. What is your question?
Oh, that is backbite. If there is any situation or stage we can backbite, or
Yes. Yes, it is said in the Quran. Okay. لا يحب الله الجهر بالسوء إلا من ظلم. If someone treated you unjustly, and I want to defend my right, I want to explain to people what happened. So I need to approach a person who have an influence on that person who treated me badly, to talk to him. So it is a kind of riba, backbiting, but it is to defend myself. This is number one. Number two. Someone approached you to ask you about a person. Okay, I want to do business with this person, or he proposed my daughter for marriage. Should you tell him exactly? Yes.
Yes.
So there are exceptions for ghiba. Very limited, not all. Okay, so if you remember, we talked about muqaddimat al-salat. We started with timing and qibla and place, and now we are going to talk about clothing. And we talked last week about it, just to remind you about it. So this is covering the body and oils for women. And so this is what men are supposed to do, like to cover this. And of course, we talked about what is required and what is appropriate. Like in the mosque, when we are with other people, so like maybe this will not be accepted if you are going to go and visit the shrine of Imam Hussein or in Najaf. So there are signs outside, they will tell you you cannot get in with this kind of clothes if it is too tight or something like this. And maybe also with ladies, they will tell them to, like, you know, put on the abaya or shalur or whatever. Now, let's go to what we here. Now, the other condition for the cloth, we said it's supposed to cover all the private parts, or for women to cover everything except face, arms, and your foot. If you are playing alone, or like at home, or no one is watching you. So now, the other condition for the clothes is supposed to be tahir. Tahir is the term in Arabic. It means pure, which means it is clean, religiously clean. There is no najasa on it. Najasa, it means any impurity, like blood, urine, and so on and so forth. So it must be tahir. So let's go with these questions and see. Is it permissible if someone voluntarily performs the prayers with an impure body or with impure clothing? Yes or no? He can do this, but he is going to make the salat invalid. So if I know this cloth, there is blood on this abaya, for example, on my shirt, and the blood is more than this, like, you know, it is like they call akthar min dirham, like a quarter, more than a quarter, okay, on your clothes. So can you pray with it? No. What should you do? I need to check my clothes first. I need to check it out. Either then to wash it or to change it. Can you do this while you are praying or not? Washing or take it off or not? Let's see. Next question. Yes.
Question, Malana. Sometimes the blood will stain.
The blood will
Stain. You cannot remove it even if you wash it.
So there is only color.
Just the color. Is it?
Yes,
pure?
okay.
It's okay.
Froze.
Yeah.
As usual.
Yeah.
Go again.
Your laptop will have to
Virus.
Max تسمع.
You have to close and restart.
خلاص talk about something general for a few minutes.
No, they have to see it. It's better. You missed those parts. You missed them.
Not sure. Yes, now it is. Hopefully, it's going to continue. What should you do if you are certain your body or clothing is pure, tahir, but discovered after prayer that it was impure? يعني أنت شايف الملابس شفتها طاهرة وما خلص الصلاة شفتها نجسة صلاتك مقبولة غير مقبولة. Your prayers are valid. Why? Because you investigated that. You tried to check it out. You didn't find anything, okay? So you did your job. Now.
But what about after the fact? You found out.
After what?
After the fact. After you prayed and everything.
That's what we just said.
No, you didn't know that there is a stain.
So it's valid.
You prayed, then you found out.
That's okay. You didn't know. So this is important. If you didn't know about the najasa, the impurity on your clothes, that will be fine. But we are going to talk about forgetting about it. So we need to be careful. If you know and you forgot, there are two conditions. Number one, you try to change it, wash it, take it off, but something happened, force you to forget. Or you neglected that with negligence, so your salat is going to be invalid. Let's read this question. If a person remembers that his body or clothing is impure, after having forgotten it carelessly or heedlessly, okay, carelessly. During prayers, he remember that, what's going to happen? As أحوط وجوبا, obligatory precaution, pray again. Stop, take the cloth, najis cloth off, and pray again. After prayers, same thing. You found out that, you remember that my cloth was najis, pray again. As what? أحوط وجوبا, obligatory precaution. Additionally, if the time limit for prayers has passed, he must make it up. This is the worst scenario. Even though I prayed Salatul Dhuhr and Asr with a najis cloth, and I found out after praying it, after Dhuhr and Asr time passed, I need to make it up. I need to do qada when I neglect the najasa on my clothes. Okay. So be careful.
Same thing if you're wearing some leather from the bihar.
Yes. Like you are wearing something najis, of course. You can't wear something najis. Or there is like dog hair on your clothes. So you cannot have it on your clothes. You need to take it out. So those who have dogs, they need to be careful. Okay?
Not cats.
Cats are okay, but dogs, the problem with the najis
Maulana is
or uneaten. Yes.
touching the dog.
Okay.
Touching.
Dry or wet.
Okay.
Cause najis. Cause.
If he was dry and your clothes was dry, so there is no najasa will transfer, that's okay. But if his nose was
No,
wet,
just you're petting him like on his hair, like that.
okay, that's fine.
It's not. It doesn't cause
Touch,
any.
yeah. Jaf ala jaf, tahir bila khilaf. This is an old saying. Like if your hand is what? Dry. And the najis thing is dry. Najasa will not transfer.
That's not the argument, Maulana. Is the touching the dog.
Same thing if there is a blood.
You're just playing with him.
Same thing. Najasa is najasa. Dog, pig, blood, other najasa. If they are already dry, and you touch them with your right hand, there is no najasa on your hand.
Do you have to wash your hands after that? Or?
No, you don't have. It's tahir. Still, your hand is still tahir.
Unless there is some hair there.
There's
Hair,
some.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hair, yeah.
There is some here, of course.
But
Or
your
he
hand
kissed
is
you.
always damp.
Hmm?
Your hand has like an oily texture to it.
We don't go with this kind of
It's too-
chemical
Yeah.
equations.
Just don't do it. Don't-
We go with urf. Okay, otherwise your hand is always wet. No.
Yeah.
The najasa was transferred when there is like, if, let's say there is
Sweat.
water, like like if I spray water on my hand and I touch the najis thing, okay, now it is najasa. Or there is blood, real blood, and I touch my clothes, the white one, and then it's going to the blood is going to be on my shirt. The red colors over there is najasa.
Okay, so this is very important. So the mouth of the dog is najis.
Right. If it's wet.
Of course it's wet.
Well, he just like dry and wet.
So
Yes.
the mouth of the dog is wet. Comes to you and he touches your pants. He lifts your pants.
Okay.
What happened to your pants?
You
He
need to.
sniffed your pants.
Okay, you need to look at your pants. Okay, I don't know. I cannot answer you unless you see his saliva on your pants.
So the phenomena behind the mouth is understandable, but the hair, dog, as we know, doesn't have sweating cells, so the hair doesn't get najis through the sweating process, and it's always dry. Why the hair of dogs are najis?
It's not why the hair. This is in the narrations. Dogs, every part of his body is najis.
But we train those
Is a source
dogs.
of najasa.
We train those dogs sometimes.
There's another thing. Okay, there's another thing about using them for guarding, for sniffing, like now
Hunting.
hunting, guiding blind people. So all of that is okay. You can use them
I try to understand the asl najasa. So, for
based
example,
on narrations.
just the narrations, because you have narration,
Yeah,
we don't have any reason behind it. Just because
So far,
No,
maybe in the
okay.
future.
that's a good question. Everything that was imposed on us, like salat, sawm, there is a reason behind it. And when there is something mustahab or recommended, there is a reason behind it. Same thing with something haram, like forbidden. Okay, stealing is haram, backbiting is haram. So there is a reason behind it. Same thing with makruh. There's a reason behind it. So there is a reason, but not necessarily we know these reasons.
What about the wild animal? The Slavia or something? Is it?
What? No, you need to name them. If they are not dogs,
Okay.
that's okay.
No,
Like
no.
wolf,
Yes.
fox,
Yeah.
coyote, they are not dogs. They are pug.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Lion, which is
Yes. Ejbek, ejbek.
You have a question from the back?
So,
I have a question.
yes.
أعطيني الميكروفون
Another
حسن.
center,
I can't hear you, so we are going to give you the mic. So the brother is rejecting that, so I asked him, you can have a lion at your house instead of having a dog.
مولانا بس الولف
لبول لأن هو لايون
Dogs
يحتاج
family.
لبول.
No?
We don't go with this, with the same family, the same species. Breed, no, dog is dog, that's it.
What is a hybrid dog?
Yeah, hybrid, right?
Okay, Salam alaikum, I'm sorry.
Alaikum
I'm from Texas, and one of the centers we went to was a Sheikh who was talking with regards to dogs and their najasat, and he was, according to the fatwa of Ayatollah Sistani, this is what he said, and I just want to make sure that that's correct. He said that if you have a dog, or if there is like a bowl or something that a dog eats from, you cannot just wash it with like water like we normally wash the jasad, that you have to wash it or like use dirt 7 times. And then, so with regards to that, Wait, I just thought, I mean, I'm assuming you said that it's okay to touch a dog and it's okay, it's not najis. So there is a huge discrepancy between what he said as far as, using dirt and not using regular water with touching them without even having to wash your hands. So if you could kind of elaborate on that a little bit, I would appreciate it.
Okay, so this is a very good question. We go precisely with what the ulama is saying. All the ulama are saying, if there is a dog licking a plate, now you need to wash it with dirt and water. Okay? As the Sheikh said, 7 times. But if it is not licking a plate, okay, someone touched the dog with a dried hand, and the dog was also dried, like, he didn't get out of the lake or
He wasn't swimming.
he wasn't swimming, and he didn't spray his water around and he's still wet. So this is the condition with any najasa. Then you treat the dog as any other najasa, like blood. Okay? Same thing with the pig.
Sheikh, question.
Yes, and just to let the sister know. So is it clear?
So as long as it's dry, we don't consider it najis.
Both dry. Your hand
My
and
hands, okay.
and his dry. And you didn't, and there's no hair on your hand touched, like it's still thick on your hand. Because if there's hair, you need to be aware of that. Take it out. Or wash it.
Thank you.
Yes.
شيخنا الغسل هنا او تطهير المكان يصير تطهير الموضع ما بدأ عند الانسان يغسل.
طبعا. بس موضع النجاسة.
So Maulana, just a question. So now she mentioned something about licking the plate. So is it just the saliva of the dog, wherever it is, you have to do 7 times, or is it just the plate? Now, just the saliva, I'm talking about the saliva of the dog itself.
Yes,
She mentioned
this is what the مسألة is saying. يعني إذا لعق الكلب جلكم الله صحن فشلون تغسل الصحن؟ كلها تنجس.
How about this? Here, this part.
No, it is not.
No.
You don't treat it like with dirt and water. No, just with water.
Only containers. Only the containers, right?
Containers, what do you mean?
Like plates, any container, a bowl, or something like that.
Like this,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if it's a big container and he just like part of it, all of it we have to do it, or
It
it's
depends.
like
If it is like إذا كان كور أو أكثر فمين لا ينجس.
Definitely. It's like your example earlier, that if you have 2 paths, one path takes you through a shorter route that has maybe nightclub, haram, and another that is a longer path. You're better off going the longer path. So if you guys don't need to touch the pet, don't touch the pet.
Okay.
If it's part of your life that you need to
but
be with the
sometimes they
dog,
come to you.
then you justify like why your life has to be connected to having a dog or touching the saliva or the job.
What about
Sheikh, I have a question too.
Okay.
I know that Ayatollah say that is najis. Is it something Quran says that a dog is najis in Quran?
It's not mentioned in the Quran.
Hadith, please.
شيخنا سؤال اذا مثلا راح يصلي بمكان مثلا عام حديقه او منتزه او كذا تعرف ناس عندها اشجار وكذا فجأة تعال الصلاه ما تجي يصلي قرب من يمك او تسنفي او ما تعرف انت تعتبر صلاه باطله رايح هذا لازم تعيد.
Okay. This question of the brother might happen to you. If you are praying in the park and next to you someone is sitting with his dog, the dog is very friendly and he came to you and he sniffed your pants. Okay. Are you going? What's going to happen to your salah? Number 1, don't look at the spot. Okay. Number 2, you cannot consider anything najis only if you are certain about its najasa. Okay. And I'm going to give you this example. Like 2 sheikhs, 2 like scholars, religious people with knowledge, they were walking. And like in some cities, they are going to dry their clothes, like on the balcony.
On the road.
So it's going to, like, drip the water on the street. So while they were walking, one of them, he got some like water drips on his imama and the clothes. And then he looked at that apartment and he said, "Oh, people, tell us about this water. Is it tahir or najis?" You don't have to say. The other one is more knowledgeable than the first one. He said, "Oh, you people, don't tell us if it is tahir or najis." So that was the right answer, okay? So you cannot consider anything that is only with yaqeen, with ilm.
Same coincidence happened to the Prophet Muhammad. I hear that he was walking with one of his companions, and somebody threw the water from the top, and he presumed that it's tahir.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is tahir, inshallah, unless you know that it is najis. Even we are going to talk about. Okay, should I stop? Say Muhammad.
Yes, it's ready.
Okay. All right.
شيخ سؤال.
Yes. The last question for tonight.
أنا أحكي عن نفسي هسه.
Yes.
أنا بالشغل من 8 إلى 4 من 8 إلى 5 وصار نجاسة في ملابسي الداخلية الخارجية وأنا أعرف صار نجاسة شلون برا الصلاة
التماسي
صار وقت الصلاة 12 وحدة ونص 12 ونص صار وقت الصلاة.
عندك وقت? Can you go home?
No, I can't work. I can't.
Can you watch them?
No way.
اعتقد يتممى.
Okay. No. This is a serious. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
حاول على المسيحية.
Okay. If you have only the najis cloth, okay?
Inside, outside?
Najis cloth.
It doesn't matter. Najis, sorry. It's najis.
Najis. You are not supposed to pray with the najis cloth, okay?
Okay.
And you have no time enough to take it off and
Wash it.
Clean it. Like if this najis, I'll take it off. Okay?
T-shirt, okay.
If this najis, I can take it off because still I have something to cover my. Now, if you didn't have only this, yes, pray with the najasa.
Pray with the najasa.
And have to repeat it? Have to repeat it? That's not.
طب مش احسن يعملها قضاء مولانا؟ يفضل
No. صلاة الواجب أفضل.
We will have this question here.
فرز الأخوة.
Can someone pray in impure clothing if he has no other clothing? Yes. Like in this time and you have no other time and only this. You have only this. Okay? But I think you have other clothing at home, right? That's what you are saying.
But he's at work.
But I'm working.
Okay, I'll go with all the options. Do you have like a towel? Any other thing you can cover up your najasa or your body? If you have,
we have it, but it's not clean.
No, okay. It's supposed to be tahir. Doesn't matter if it is not clean. You need to have a tahir cloth. So in your case, take it off.
We use it with everything. No, not clean. No, I'm not gonna say.
Oh, okay. So it's up to you. You need to know.
طب مولانا مش يقضي على القضاء يعني؟
But it's okay. It's valid. The prayer is valid.
Yes, inshallah.
If there's no options.
I think the moral of the story, Maulana, is to spare clothes.
Yes.
I think the true story lesson is to take more clothes.
Yes.
There is another like scenario here. If you have two sets of clothing, okay, one is najis and one is tahir, and you don't know which one is tahir, which one is najis. What should you do?
Pray 2 times.
If you have enough time, you must pray with the first cloth, Salat al-Dhuhr and Asr, for example. Take it off. With the other one, pray Dhuhr and Asr. But if you don't have enough time, pray with one of them. That's it.
And if he has like 12 one.
No, no. All right, صلوا على محمد. Inshallah, it seems you liked this question. It seems that some of you like to get a dog at home.
Because
just one quick question.
no, my question. The question is, it's dogs everywhere in this country.